That all sounds well and good, but really, how do I get there? Okay, you said this whole beautiful thing, and I know many of you, especially out there on the YouTube channel, are going to say, you know, I have problems believing this stuff. Yeah, I get it. I get it. The thing is, a lot of people who say I have problems believing this stuff think that the way to answer those problems is by theory. And generally speaking, no. You just don't work that way. You don't ride a bike. You don't learn to ride a bike by theory. You don't learn to swim by theory. You can watch a lot of videos about swimming, but I promise you, you will not learn to swim without getting in water. Fragmentation and reunification around symbols, institutions, hierarchies, structures. It's interesting to me to watch you very winsomely and compellingly create a vision for reunification. And so I see all those pieces and I say, none of this is incidental.
Like, how does this work?
This is deep in your story.
Mm.
I do believe Eastern churches will have a role to play, and if there is ever a true reunion of the Catholic Church with the Orthodox Church, I'm not talking about a political one just for expedient reason. I'm talking about an actual theological, reunification between the two churches. The Eastern Catholic Church is going to play a major role in that.
At least hope that's where we are. Where we're at the point where we're reunifying because it seems necessary, but it's also, it seems like it's one of those mythologically reoccurring themes.
Yes.
And I think that the approach that you take as a minister, of course, as a pastor, is important because it's trying to do the same thing, I think, to a degree that maybe other people are trying to do in a more secular fashion, which is to bring people back to these foundational stories. And the reason why I think that the character arc's mission to me is important is because what I'm hoping, at least, and what it seemed to have been able to do in the past is be like a gateway towards a deeper understanding of the religious stories.
What does the kingdom of God look like, or the parousia, the reconciliation of all things, when we as saints or the church or the bride of Christ mend the division and reunify the things? What does reunification look like? Because if being entails duality and division and night and day and differences, what then does reconciliate? And somehow this is connected to a thing I've been contemplating, and I don't even know what it means, but it's something. Being is good, creation is good, God is good, and we stop trying to conform everything to our image and to our judgments and the way that we think it should be. And then simultaneously, and I know this makes no sense, but simultaneously nothing changes and everything changes.
Luke, this is the new heaven and the new earth, okay? So you have this teleological new heaven and new earth, the destruction of all things. But it's fractal, right? When you reconcile things, multiplicities, particulars, when you bring them together in your own life, in your mind, let's say, suddenly you're living in a new heaven and a new earth, right? Nothing is the same anymore. This is what reconciliation does, right? Reconciliation creates new heavens and new earths. Every single day, it does that.
Welcome, everybody. This is Post-Election Peace of Mind, Life Under Empire, a Grim Grizz live stream for November 10th, 2024. I am Grim Grizz, making this noise with my voice. Hey, but that's fine. What's up, Kayfabe? He's right there. Okay, and then don't forget, we're executive produced by the Shadow Cabal, and especially the ones that go all the way to the name credit. That's Upcycle Club and the German Dragon. You can do it through the YouTube memberships or the Ko-fi link up there on the top of the Hive Mind chat. It was going to be the start of the show now, but what happened was Kale Zeldin over there in the Hive Mind chat said this. He said, "Time for a swim, I guess." So fine.
So this is how bad I have failed the Seething's throws for mind control. Dum dum da dum da da dum da da dum da da dum dum da dum. Da dum dum da dum. It's that bad. And whoosh.
There you go, Kale. There's your swim. Look, we have Zach Parsons' project in the house. The Teespring of coffee beans via the Evansville thing. Man, I just brewed the last pot of Folgers. Do you have a stat department? A stat delivery department? Anyway, I give you savings throws against mind control, and we're swimming in it, don't you know? This is how those go. I tell you you're swimming in mind control. You recognize that, yeah, there's a lot of propaganda and commercials and stuff all around. I wish I had more resistance. Well, you can have some if you make a choice during a Grim Grizz live stream or replay. I think you can get the savings throws during a replay watching. Test it and see, and leave a comment for a +5 on those savings throws. Here we go. You get to make a choice between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your resistance to the mind control. I want to resist it with the power of my heart. then you pick heart, and I roll these die. If the die you've chosen comes up a 10 or higher, you have successfully made your savings throw and take half damage from the mind control. If the one you choose does not come up 10 or higher, well, you can have bonuses, but if the roll and the bonuses aren't 10 or higher, then you failed your savings throw and take full damage from the mind control. But rest assured, at least 40% of the mind control I used here on you here during this experience is because we want what's best for you. At least 40%. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Oh, look at that. Survivalist. Prime 19 for you. Well done. Socialist. That's a 14. Parachakra 7s. Lovers of wisdom. Disciples for you today. And they know I say that, I think. Heart, folks. Oh, you're going to need your bonuses. There's a 6 for you. A 6 for you. Indigo kids. Para 816. Not bad, not bad. Goat song in the hive mind with the wisdom choice. Mark dropping herbs. Greetings. All right, today we're going to do some post-election peace of mind because a lot of people could use some cope, and also some other fun things. I'm sure. LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. Blessed Sunday. How was church? Let us know in the Hive Mind chat or replay comments. Man, church today was blank. I got to serve others by being there and singing with them, or they groped me and raised their hand in the air. What happened? Let us know. It's fun like that. Before we get into our a life under the empire and post-election cope, the agency deck card of the show is the 3 of hearts, and that's probably appropriate because since it hasn't happened yet, you seeing and hearing this now, unless you're watching the replay, is a timely thing. And you can go there. You can go to this event and say, I wasn't going to go. I didn't even know, or I wasn't going to go. But then I saw it and heard it on the Grimgris show, and I decided that I'd be part of the new estuary group in Bellingham, Washington today.
Hi, this is Paul. I'm going to be in Bellingham, Washington, Sunday night, November 10. There's a new estuary group starting in Bellingham. They're meeting at the Hillcrest Church at 1400 Larrabee Avenue, Bellingham, Washington. And I'll put that address down below in the notes. The meeting is starting at 6 a.m. And I'll put the flyer, all the information there in the notes below. And again, Bellingham Estuary, Hillcrest Church, 1400 Larrabee Ave, Sunday, November 10, 6 p.m. I will be there. Upcycle will be there. I think there'll be a contingent from the Olympia Estuary there. I don't know exactly how many people will be there, but I think it'll be a very interesting gathering. So if you're
local there and want to participate, put it on your calendar.
And if you can get there by 6 p.m. Pacific, go, and let them know that you saw it on the show. And hello. I see the assassins have failed. May they continue to do so tonight, even though we've just given them a great opportunity to hit Upcycle Club, Pastapal, and members from the Olympus estuary. Casino deck card of the show is the Four of Diamonds. Diamonds.
Although this world will devastate you, and rejoice although this world will penetrate you, and rejoice although you will not survive. Rejoice you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice, your hair, it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burn your whole beard off. Rejoice, despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one, dude. That's gorgeous. Thank you, brother. Wait, who's that brother?
You know who else is trying their best? The one and only psychopath. Was it? What did he call? What did you get called? What did that bald man call you from the sphere? Anyway, that guy's trying his best, and he's got President Foxman on. Here's the 33rd minute.
In your life, Mark? And I said, well, I had to stop and think. I'm like, because I don't have young men gathering around me and hear my son, my wisdom. I said, my son, he's just a little older than you. And most of it was modeled rather.
Mark, a little quiet.
Whatever I gave him had to be caught more than taught. You know, it was, and it seems to have worked in his case.
This is Paul, and just a little quick video.
All these forces they don't understand. The fact that there's war coming, all these things, they don't even know what they're doing. And yet, they're already playing the game.
That's what it's all about.
That our tools were small enough and around long enough that we could actually play with them and experiment with them and get to know them and learn to think outside the box. Is that everybody there was thinking outside the box because we'd all come from outside the box. Everybody talks about thinking outside the box. They go inside the box and tell everybody in there that they should learn to think outside the box. If you really want people to think outside the box, go find people who are from outside the box, because those people can't think anywhere but outside the box. That's where we were, all of us to one extent or another in those days. It's not where we are now.
There's a reality that you and Paul touch on when it comes to like people getting what they need versus what they want. That you and Paul kind of see pretty clearly, and I'm trying to learn how to see that way too.
Well, that's my faith in the arenic nature of the agency.
To think of Rogan.
My democratic media empowerment plan will redirect 50% of the media tax you pay away from attention kings and invest it into a public, democratic media platform for all Germans. This will shift the balance of power, ensuring that the narrative is no longer controlled by the few, while the many remain voiceless. Yes, brothers and sisters, I will empower you to speak your mind, because I believe that all of you have something of value to share. My democratic media
I'm not
empowerment.
about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile?
That's very exciting. Hello. I see the assassins have failed.
Did you get that on video? No. Mom, I'm not going to. No, that's I'll show you later. Look, the gator is obviously. You got that? Send me that. 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 Hey, yo. I just feel bad for this kid. My God. Yeah, it's okay.
All right, therefore, then we've come to the part of the show where we get to the part of the show, the part where there's tabs and there's cards, and I deliver on the title and the thumbnail, because boy, it's never clickbait with that guy, that Grim Grizz. He always it's never clickbait. If it's on the title, he does it. If it's on the thumbnail, he does it. It's not clickbait here. We can trust him. And Griff and Canada, that card of the show is the 8 of hearts. The 8 of hearts. And we're going to get into it first with this quote here, therefore, then, from attributed to Mark Twain, at least in this particular tweet. It says, "Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect." And right now, apparently, the majority is having a catastrophe mentally and psychologically, because this man helped the orange man win the office thing. Maybe it was a hack. Saturday Night Live has done a thing, and I think that they brought out Dana Carvey to play the Elon Musk, and that means that the real fear, since they worship the intellect and educate, oh, we're so smart, we're smarter than you, we know what's right. They see the intelligence of this man as like being, I'm the one up, now Trump is my puppet, more or something. And that's a neat thing to see. But that's we're here this Sunday service to help you find some peace of mind, despite the fact this is the frightening reality you are now all faced with. And so we're going to do that together.
Remember, everybody, there is no agency. We want what's best.
Now, I showed you, therefore, earlier that one of the executive producers, the German dragon, and his character David Donnerstein, who's going to be chancellor in 2033. Why is he waiting so long? The thing is, he's part of my internet intentionality network. We're understanding the intentionality networks in the background a lot around here right now. And he's therefore got influence over me, and the way the Hive Mind chat often has influence over me. And as such, I ended up watching a video by Hans-Georg Meuler, or whatever. He's a German philosopher that's hiding out in China. But since I watched that one that he sent me, the algorithm showed me this other one, and it had a very timely portion that fits our topic of today, post-election peace of mind.
Elections are, for Luhmann, a throw of the dice. a game of chance with arbitrary rules. The winner is decided by innumerable factors that the participants cannot control. And to a large extent, they aren't even conscious of them. With a nice pun that unfortunately doesn't work that well in English, Luhmann states that the public opinion, öffentliche Meinung, that is supposedly expressed in an election has little to do with what people opine or meinen or think. What the individuals actually think, if anything at all, when they mark ballots, remains unknown. This alone suffices not to conceive of public opinion as the general expression of the opinions of individuals. What people have in mind when they vote is neither knowable nor even relevant for the election result. An election, Luhmann says, presupposes the people as a kind of superior instance, within which the miracle of melting the individual will into the general will takes place. Elections are magical. They produce the symbolic foundation of liberal democracy, the will of the people. This fiction is in turn grounded in the fiction that marking a ballot expresses individual sovereignty. But, as mentioned, while Luhmann has zero belief in these fictions,
it's a kayfabe layer cake, baby.
He also has no problem with them either. The miracle of the democratic election is just fine, as long as it functions okay for everyone involved, and I tend to agree with his view. At the time and at the place where Luhmann lived, that's post-war Western Germany, democracy was functioning all right, at least more or less. So why not vote? It can be fun and exciting, after all, like a game of dice. The question is if the same can be said about the USA today.
That's a newspaper, and we don't care what Germans in China think, because Emperor Trump. Now, I'm sorry. See, it's right. What happened is let me see if I can. Let's see if I can pull this out for people that are here coming in. You know, who need to understand what's going on. What happened is there's you know how I give you savings throws against the mind control here on this stream. Only place I know of that does it for you. There's a lot of it out there. And what happened is the propagandic machine going against the current president or president elect. Well, they didn't say things good about themselves. They really did a negative campaign and portrayed perhaps the person who is now the president-elect as literally Hitler. Literally, like by the book. No, I don't know. And the problem is there's this level of cognition as you mature we'll go into, and then you move up the spiral dynamics, and it plays havoc on your politics along the way. But the thing of it is if that's literally true, then they forecast their future, what they're about to go through, with that metaphor as axiomatic presupposition, and it makes terror on their mind thing. It's like the propaganda is a mind, and this is what people getting mind sounds like. And you can watch all those videos, and a lot of people enjoy watching those videos. But it's really just the psychological distress. See, now in the age of the internet, you can be openly. We don't have mental institutions for them to put you in, so they just keep you in your house in front of a screen, and they have you display your symptoms online. And the blue church card of the show is the 8 of clubs, and so I will club you with not any footage of them crying, but something that might actually help. Recovering from the 2016 liberalhood is this lady who's put out what I think are useful and helpful videos on the China platform.
I want to make a brief follow-up.
Yeah, it is pretty brief, but here we go.
Video. So the one of me talking about how I used to be very far left Democrat and how I kind of saw the light. but how I empathize with people who are still having meltdowns and who are very afraid. Because I've had a lot of people already ask me, well, what can we do to bring them to the light? What can we do to get them to see? And there's two fundamental things you have to understand. And again, I'm saying this as somebody that used to be in that headspace. Okay, number one, the propaganda and the brainwashing goes far, far deeper than most people can truly wrap their head around. It goes way further back than Trump, way further back than this administration. It's decades, to the point that we don't even those of us that are awake, we don't even know what we don't know. Okay, like we can't even begin to grasp the level of psychological warfare that we have been under since the 60s-ish, in that ballpark, first of all. Second of all, you have to understand that a lot of these people, their entire worldview, their entire belief system is based in emotion. And when your whole viewpoint is based in emotion, everything feels like a personal attack. When you criticize their opinions, their viewpoints, their worldview, it feels like you are criticizing the very thing that they are, their very existence. And that causes them to shut down immediately. Again, I'm speaking from personal experience.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
I think the genius of that branding was entirely accidental, and it wouldn't have become my favorite if he wasn't writing with two pens. Two pens.
In my opinion, in my experience, all you can really do is continue trying to meet them where they are and love them as they are, even if they can't return that. They may wake up to it, they may not. It depends. I think this next 4 years is going to be very make or break in terms of media bias and media control and what people wake up to and start seeing. But even then, you have to understand that you're questioning the very core of everything they know. This is not just a matter of opinion. This is their whole worldview being shaken and hammered away at the core. And that's terrifying. For them, the world as they know it and believe it to be is ending. To those of us who have made it out, we see that that's necessary. We don't see that as a bad thing. We don't see that as scary, but they do. And you have to acknowledge that fear and validate it and not think that they are stupid or less than, because this isn't a matter of intelligence. It's very psychological. I know people who are very, very intelligent people with master's degrees, people with PhD. They're not stupid people that can't see past the brainwashing and propaganda.
They didn't make their savings throw. Now, I will bring you to shortly. Where?
We want what's best for you.
Once upon a time, a channel that makes documentaries that I think might be helpful, and at this time, featured a tweet of mine and by the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. For that, I shall forever be in their debt. And it does the benefit that I actually think they make very, very worthwhile content. You see, since these melting down lefties are accused of valuing intellect and intelligence, then these 3-hour documentaries may be exactly what they need. You see, for me, I think that all of their work should be broken up. This particular work, their documentary, The Minds of Men, should be broken up into TikTok-sized nuggets and distributed that way. But they like the long 3.5-hour footage. We're going to play a segment of it here, but I think it is a good. It might be people who want to feel bad about like being duped. It's hard once you're the dupe. You don't want to admit you're the dupe. You're bought in. Your sunk costs are terribly high, and so it's hard to get over that. But seeing how intricate and diverse and ancient the mechanisms they've been subjected to are may be helpful for those sort of people. Bonus casino deck card of the show is the 5 of hearts. Let's see if we can't. This clip doesn't light up some of that darkness.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
A room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
President Johnson created the National Commission on the Causes and Prevention of Violence. Today, a task force of that commission released its first findings, concluding that Americans have become a rather bloody-minded people.
Concludes that Americans always have been a violent people.
Americans have always been a violent people, according to the Commission, so much so in the 1960s that the Commission ranks the United States first among 17 Western countries in total magnitude of strife.
Just 2 weeks later, the Omnibus Crime Control and Safe Streets Act of 1968 was rushed through Congress, creating the Law Enforcement Assistance Administration, which would fund hundreds of controversial, coercive, and even downright Orwellian behavior modification projects in the years to come.
To carry out programs of behavioral research designed to provide more accurate information on the causes of crime and the effectiveness of various means of preventing crime, and to evaluate the success of correctional procedure. Yet you see, it's nice, it's ancient, it's a giant system you've been subjected to. It's not your fault. The smartest people you know also failed their savings throws. But as we live in the life under the empire, let me bring this to you in our little virtually not alone bubble. You see, once upon a time I was a truther, and a truther is essentially a person who discovers or falsely believes, depending on their savings throw beliefs, that it turns out there's a lot of human trafficking and horrible stuff happening with all around us that we don't see when we're living comfortably, and we discover it, and we're like, oh my goodness, if only everyone knew what was going on, somebody would stop it. And you get all, hey, everybody, you need to know how horrible things are. And that's what the truther, that's the truther stage of the pupus. Pupus? Maybe pupus. And what happens after that is you realize it's that meme with the astronaut and the gun and the astronaut and the gun and the it always has been thing. And that's the consolation in how you can find peace of mind in the life under the empire. It's like there's nothing new under the sun. Maybe you've been part of the attention harvested the way they attention harvest people, to make them feel like they're making a difference and meeting all of their civic duties participatorily if once a year they do a thing. If once a year, and not pay attention to what the people who are representative of them are voting for or against, and who's lobbying
those people and why. None of that. No, just once every 40 years. Pay attention. And that's the stream I had made for everybody. This life under the Empire post-election peace of mind. I hope that you've been virtually not alone. I know that Spatch has been. Look at that guy. And now you have pupas in your mind. I wonder what. Anyway, here's a nice little ditty and then a train.
It's a whisper in your ear. Now listen here. Remember, embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear. I cherish truth. I cherish truth. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.